You know, they say that people relate very well to losing money or the possibility of losing money. And today, I almost lost $1,000. Somewhere in that ballpark. What I'm going to do is to really illustrate today, by means of my personal almost oops-a-daisy, what had happened to me, what I almost did to myself, to help you not wipe away $1,000 as quickly as I almost did. Now, to anybody who's been in the Pokemon collecting, investing, reselling space for some time, there's a concept known to people as the premium associated with having a sealed product. The better the seal, the more layers of seal, the more pristine the product may be, that premium tends to go up. And that applies as well to products that are sealed into a case, a factory case. Now, this varies for different products. For regular ETBs, that's a factory case of 10. For booster boxes, that's a factory case of 6. For Pokemon Center ETBs, like this one here, that's a factory case of 4. These come from Pokemon Center back when you can buy a full case, sealed in a factory case of 4. And by Pokemon Center ETB, I mean the ones with the Pokemon Center wording on it. They also usually come with additional booster packs, and the promo card inside has the Pokemon Center stamp on it. I've got a copy here of the promo card. This is not the Pokemon Center stamped variant, but there would be a little Pokemon Center logo right there to designate the premium on that product. What almost happened to me today is that I almost opened up a sealed case of this product. Obsidian Flames, Pokemon Center, ETBs. I had one listed on TCG Player that I bought in a collection, and when I went to go and obtain it from my storage location to pack and sell this morning, I almost made the mistake of opening a sealed case of Pokemon Center ETBs. A sealed case of these that was sitting right next to it on the shelf. So why would that be a bad thing? Well, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there's a premium usually on sealed products. And again, this being sealed, having shrink wrap on it, is in and of itself a premium over just simply the full contents of the box, but with no shrink wrap. That's not sealed anymore. That doesn't demand as high of a premium. When you put 4 of these together in one cardboard case, there's an additional, typically, layer of premium from a collector standpoint. Now, it's a real funny thing that happens because sometimes, and in certain market conditions, like we saw a few years ago for a lot of product, having that case sealed really didn't offer much of a premium at all. If anything, it was sometimes a discount to get a sealed case. If you bought one online, you could potentially save in shipping. For instance, if they could just slap a new label on the case, ship it out. There's no additional time, labor, packing materials sometimes needed to ship out that sealed case. So again, it's real curious based on the market conditions, and I'm wondering if when I entered in that sealed case into my inventory, I don't know if I maybe just made a mistake and didn't log it as one sealed case. Instead, I just logged it as 4 sealed ETBs. Maybe I didn't even notice that it was a factory seal however many years ago it came into my inventory, or maybe, I don't know, just made a mistake. But like I said, it's important to consider when you're opening up a sealed case, or a sealed product for that matter, you can't go backwards. And I don't mean to say that to sound insulting to folks, because that's obviously not my intention, but you really can't. Once that seal is cut, once that product is open, it enters a whole new category on the market. It is no longer sealed. There is no longer a sealed case. What you now have are 11 loose booster packs and a promo. It no longer is sealed. It becomes open. It becomes worth only what the contents are worth. There's no sealed premium. And the same obviously can be applied to the sealed case, especially in this market. As you can see from some of the pricing here, a sealed case right now is listed on eBay and TCG Player for around the ballpark of 3,500, some of them even more. There's very few on TCG Player right now that are selling for any price at all. You know, there's only a handful that are even for sale. If you look at, though, the price of just one individual ETB selling, it's certainly not 1/4 the price of the case. One ETB sells for $600, $625, $640, you know, depending on what seller you're buying it from and if they have shipping. But if you take that let's say $620, and multiply that by 4, you get $2,480. You get something that is substantially less than the $3,500 for having that sealed case premium. And with products like these Pokemon Center ETBs right now, that sealed case premium is a very real thing. Granted, they do not move as fast. There's very many fewer sales because it's a much higher, more premium product. But in my potential haste to go and grab one ETB to ship out, I almost accidentally opened up that sealed case. Now, again, that may not be a big deal for all products. Some things like, gosh, battle decks or something like that, there really hasn't been and typically won't be a sealed case premium because they're just either not that collectible or there's more utility value in what's there to open it up and get access to what's inside. Whereas in this case, it's almost entirely about that stamped promo. Having that stamped exclusivity is really where it's at. This is an awesome card. It's an awesome promo, but the fact that it comes with a stamp, that it's sealed, that it's a part of a sealed box, a part of a sealed case, you just simply can't undo that once it's been opened. So again, this might sound a little bit rudimentary, but if you need to do something to perhaps prevent yourself from opening up a sealed product, what I usually do in my inventory system is to take a Post-it note and just write the word sealed on it, and I put that Post-it note on the product. You're not going to see any damage from the Post-it note residue or whatever. I also usually put it, you know, on maybe the tape or something so that it sticks a little bit better. In this case, again, maybe my Post-it note fell off. I might need a better system. If I had more space, I might have a totally separate section of storage for sealed cases versus open cases of sealed product. Or perhaps I've seen people not store, if it's an open case, to maybe tear the tabs off the top or something so that you know it's an open case. Or storing the product on the shelf instead of in the box that it came in, that opened case. Something, anything. Maybe you put your sealed case in a trash bag or something, or, you know, out of sight, out of mind, on a higher shelf, on a different shelf. It really comes down to you, your storage, your collection, but it cannot be understated that once that tape is cut, it's cut. Just be a little bit wary as you're going through and trying to fulfill your orders. You know, don't overthink things, but also make sure that you're pausing appropriately and not accidentally throwing away $1,000 like almost happened to me by opening up a box. So maybe, hopefully, you can learn something from my embarrassment, my cautionary tale here. If you did, I would love it if you drop a comment down below, subscribe to our channel. I would love to see you in the next video. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye.